I watched him reach out to Dick Lugar, who was an expert on arms control, an expert on dealing with nuclear weapons, who written the book, the Nunn-Lugar legislation, to draw down nuclear weapons. And I watched him, before I knew it, reach out to Dick Lugar, and Dick said, should I work? I said, absolutely work him. You know what they did? Lugar and Obama passed legislation that makes it a heck of a lot harder for terrorists to get their hands on nuclear weapons. I watched that happen. I watched him reach across the aisle to one of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, Doc Coburn from Oklahoma, one of the really hard right guys in the Senate, but an honorable man. I watched Barack Obama go to him, reach out his hand and say, look, I agree with you about transparency in government and spending. And so what happened? Coburn and Obama put together, for the first time in American history, you can go online and find out how every dollar's being spent by your federal government. That was Barack Obama. That was conservative Coburn. He reached across the aisle. So, folks, you want somebody who has a history of being bipartisan. You want somebody who's going to get things done. Barack Obama will do it. And let me speak just a moment about taxes. The only thing I did here at the Republican convention is a bunch of malarkey about how we're going to raise taxes. Let's just look at the facts. You know, there used to be a program 100 years ago in my day when I was a kid that Walter Brennan was on. Remember that actor Walter Brennan? He used to say, you don't remember, but some of you do. Some of you guys do in here, okay? And he used to say, ain't brag, ma'am, just fact. Let's just look at the facts. We are going to cut taxes for 95% of the American people who draw a paycheck. That is a fact. That is a fact. We're going to lower the amount of money you pay and your taxes, your FICA tax. 95% of the American people who draw a paycheck are going to get a tax cut. Compare that to John. John's going to give a $200 billion tax cut to corporations, $200 billion a year, $4 billion just to go to Exxon Mobil and the oil companies. Why? Because they only have made $600 billion in profit since 2000, and they need incentives to go out there and find more oil. God love them, as my mother would say. God love them. Imagine what we can do with $4 billion a year instead of going down that rat hole. Imagine what we could do if we were investing in new renewable energy technology. Imagine what we can do if we were investing in those things. John has one middle class tax cut. The only problem is it leaves out 100 million families. Small problem.